Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The ridiculous conjecture of Finn and Steffy Brooke grills Ridge. The Tuesday, October 15th, spoilers for the Bold and the Beautiful show indicate that Brooke Logan acted as though Taylor Hayes' diagnosis of broken heart syndrome was absurd and remained doubtful. Taylor, however, requested that a cardiologist validated and described how, up until Dr. Grace Buckingham performed an additional test, she believed she had heart failure. Although Brooke acknowledged that she didn't think Taylor would be cunning enough to fabricate this, she still wanted to do her own investigation. Brooke wanted to know Taylor's intentions with Forrester even though she was sympathetic for what Taylor was going through. Taylor still didn't trust Brooke. Brooke argued that Taylor took full advantage of the fact that Ridge had contacted the healer and had been so supportive, which Taylor had played up. Brooke made it apparent that Taylor couldn't pursue her dream of being close to Ridge by using the circumstance. Following that, in Tuesday's B&B episode, Steffy Forrester went to John Finnegan's office and disclosed that Ridge was using her space for a meeting he had scheduled with Taylor. Finn brought up the fact that Ridge and Brooke weren't married since it piqued Steffy and Finn's curiosity about the ex-couples being alone. Steffy reiterated that she wouldn't play matchmaker, but she agreed with Finn's suggestion that perhaps Taylor and Ridge could reconcile after all. Ridge would be far happier with Taylor than he was with Brooke, according to Steffy's forecasts. Finn joked about avoiding the cliff home because of what Steffy would see as he was leaving to check on a patient. At some point, Steffy arrived at the Cliff house, where Taylor was telling Brooke that she was going on and didn't need a boyfriend. When Brooke left, Steffy pressed Taylor for clarification. Steffy was even more perplexed, Taylor continued, because Brooke had seen Ridge assisting her in attempting to balance her chakras. Taylor acknowledged that she had been hiding something from Steffy and that she had returned to Los Angeles for a different reason. Taylor admitted that she returned because she had previously felt she had heart disease and was dying, despite her assurances to Steffy that there was no need to be afraid. As Steffy tried to process Taylor's shocking revelation, she reeled. Sensing danger ahead, Forrester called Ridge to the Forrester estate and asked him questions concerning Taylor's situation. Eric said that Brooke was upset about how much time Ridge has been spending lately with Taylor. Ridge was taken aback when he didn't see Brooke at the Cliff home because he had received information about her visit earlier. Given Taylor's consent, Ridge confided in Eric about her broken heart syndrome. Knowing that Taylor was doing well and had made significant progress in her recovery tonight gave Eric a sense of relief. Looking uneasy, Brooke reflected on her experiences at Steffy's apartment while she was in her bedroom. When Ridge eventually showed up, he found out that Brooke had earlier seen him with Taylor. Ridge said that Brooke's admission of facing Taylor and learning about her broken heart condition couldn't have been easy to digest. Brooke confessed that Taylor fainted in front of Ridge after observing that Taylor appeared well when she initially returned to town. Ridge noted that Taylor would still require medical attention even if the good news was that she wasn't going to die. Brooke pressed Ridge to tell her exactly what he was doing with his ex-wife and inquired as to whether that was Taylor's treatment tonight. Stay tuned as spoilers for the Bold and the Beautiful indicate that Taylor, whether on purpose or not, will escalate tensions between Ridge and Brooke. Ridge is uncomfortable being near to Brooke in her bedroom. When Brooke is less understanding of Steffy's mother's situation. Although Steffy was aware that something wasn't right with Taylor, she was unaware of the difficulties her mother had been facing. Admire B&B, Days, General Hospital, or other soap operas? Participate in the discussion on our SC boards. To interact with fans and start a conversation right now, click this link. Taylor discovered she had heart failure and thought she was going to die while she was still in Europe throughout the summer. After arriving in Los Angeles, Taylor realized she actually had broken heart syndrome with the assistance of Ridge, Torsten K. Taylor isn't embarrassed or afraid to discuss her illness with others now that she is aware of her diagnosis and is working on repairing her heart. On Wednesday, Taylor takes the opportunity to tell Steffy about her health and the amazing way that Ridge assisted in her recovery. Hope is in for another surprise from Liam. It was only recently that Hope and Carter realized they were drawn to each other. They kissed and discussed their sentiments at the office. They decided to keep their relationship a secret for the time being because they knew it could have an impact on their careers. However, Carter already faces opposition. Hope was taken aback by Liam's request to think about getting back together at work, not long after Carter and Hope shared their first kiss. Hope initially responded with a no. But Liam is skilled at winning Hope over. Liam makes a heartfelt video homage to Hope's achievements on the personal and professional fronts on Wednesday. Will Hope be persuaded to rethink Liam's pledge to bring their family back together by watching his video? What will Carter's response be? Ridge needs to give Brooke a reason. During their session of spiritual healing, Ridge and Taylor were unaware that they were being watched. Although Brooke was unable to hear what was being said, she is aware of what she witnessed. While Taylor and Ridge were crying, cuddling, and developing a strong emotional attachment, Brooke saw them through the back door of Steffy's house. Brooke found it a bit much to watch as Taylor straddled his lap and placed Ridge's hand on her chest. When Taylor told Brooke about her illness, she assumed it was a ruse to get Ridge back in Taylor's life. Ridge and Brooke are going to talk about Taylor on Wednesday. Will Brooke comprehend Ridge's motivation for wanting to assist Taylor with her broken heart syndrome? Or will the fact that he kept it a secret bother Brooke too much? On Wednesday, October 16, 2024, watch CBS to find out what comes next. During the week, CBS and Paramount Plus offer entire episodes of The Bold and the Beautiful for streaming. The discovery of Eric and Steffy, Brooke's troubled heart. Finally, The Bold and the Beautiful Tuesday, October 15, 2024 recap is up. The diagnosis of Taylor Hayes is shared by Rich Forrester with Eric Forrester in today's episode. Highlights of The Bold and the Beautiful recap. Taylor, meanwhile, delivers the real word to Steffy Forrester Finnegan, Jacqueline McInnes Wood. Forrester's discovery recap of The Bold and the Beautiful. The Tuesday, October 15th B&B recap indicates that Ridge visits Eric's place. There's not much time left for Ridge. Recap of The Bold and the Beautiful Tuesday, October 15th, Brooke's troubled heart, Eric and Steffy's discovery. Eric assumes that Ridge should discuss Taylor with Brooke Logan. Eric feels that tension is building between Brooke and Taylor, so he wants to know what's going on. Eric is informed by Ridge about Taylor's diagnosis of heart failure and subsequent diagnosis of broken heart syndrome. Eric is already aware of the illness. Ridge claims that Taylor must confront upsetting memories. In a way she hasn't had to before, Taylor must now deal with that pain. Eric learns about the chakra healing session from Ridge as well. Eric believes Taylor finds the chakra material to be a bit much. In defense of the chakras, Ridge claims that he and Taylor were breathing in unison. Ridge claims that a release occurred. It sounds strong, Eric remarks. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, must-read hospital crisis triggered by Beth's accident. Do Liam and Hope fear losing their miracle child? While he changes into a new outfit in the hospital, Steffy is swooning over John Finnegan. Shin begins to flirt. Since the kids aren't present, Finn proposes that they take the passion home. Finn is informed by Steffy that Ridge and Taylor will be using the space tonight. Steffy is curious about Ridge and Taylor's unsupervised activities. While Steffy insists Finn she's not playing matchmaker, she does want her parents to get back together. Ridge would be happier with Taylor, Steffy continues. Steffy is told by Finn to make sure that Brooke doesn't hear her say it. After dressing, Finn needs to see a patient. Finn leaves the office, leaving Steffy to wait. Taylor Hayes' confessions in the recap of The Bold and the Beautiful. According to The Bold and the Beautiful synopsis, Taylor tells Brooke what happened at the Cliff House. In order to repair broken heart syndrome, the chakra healer advised her to straddle Ridge. Brooke is astonished. Taylor says that's true, and a cardiologist has attested to it. Taylor clarifies that the only reason she returned to the city was due to a medical professional's diagnosis of heart failure. It was then identified as broken heart syndrome by Grace Buckingham. Brooke is eager to learn more about this illness on her own. Taylor is not trusted by Brooke. Taylor is directly questioned by Brooke about her plans with Ridge. According to Taylor, Ridge was the one who organized everything. Taylor is sure Ridge will now tell Brooke the whole truth. Taylor is cautioned by Brooke not to cling to Ridge. As Steffy enters, Taylor reminds Brooke that she doesn't need a man. Brooke walks out. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Must read. Brooke seems awful, and Ridge responds with ferocity. Steffy queries Brooke's presence. Steffy observes the incense as well. Steffy is informed by Taylor that she believed she was dying. Steffy gives a shocked gasp. After returning home, Brooke searches the internet for broken heart syndrome. Not long after, Ridge appears. Ridge is informed by Brooke that she spotted him with Taylor. While Ridge explains, Brooke claims that she has already spoken with Taylor. Brooke is aware of the syndrome known as broken hearts. Ridge claims Taylor vowed to keep things secret. In response, Brooke claims to have witnessed this said abuse and asks to know all the details of Ridge's interactions with Taylor. Brooke Logan's determination to protect her relationship with Ridge Forrester reaches a breaking point when she confronts Taylor Hayes, demanding to know the truth about her intentions. With emotions running high, Brooke refuses to stand by idly while Taylor, her longtime rival, continues to encroach on her territory. For Brooke, the stakes are personal and deeply emotional. She's seen Ridge gravitate towards Taylor before, and history has shown that their bond is not easily broken. Brooke's confrontation with Taylor is fueled by her fears and insecurities about Ridge, but also by a desire to secure her own future with the man she loves. As she faces Taylor, Brooke is resolute in her demand. She wants to know if Taylor is once again trying to rekindle her relationship with Ridge, and if so, she warns her to stay away, emphasizing that Ridge is her husband and she won't let Taylor ruin their marriage again. On the other side of this tense confrontation, Taylor is equally conflicted. The renowned psychiatrist has been struggling with her own emotional turmoil, facing a health scare that left her believing she was on the brink of death. Taylor's feelings about Ridge are complicated. She loves him deeply, but her actions have been clouded by the belief that she didn't have much time left. This belief has driven Taylor to reflect on the relationships and people she holds dear, including Ridge, who has always been a significant figure in her life. Now that her health scare has passed and she knows she isn't dying, Taylor feels a heavy weight lifted but is left to face the fallout of her actions. Brooke's direct questioning forces Taylor to confront her feelings about Ridge, but more importantly, it pushes her to have an honest conversation with her daughter, Steffy, about the truth. Steffy Forrester is caught in the middle of the long-standing rivalry between Brooke and Taylor, but her loyalty has always been firmly with her mother. As Brooke lays down the gauntlet with Taylor, Steffy watches anxiously, knowing that any confrontation between these two powerful women could escalate quickly. Taylor, feeling cornered by Brooke's accusations, turns to Steffy and reveals the truth she's been keeping hidden. She genuinely believed she was dying. This confession shocks Steffy, who had sensed something was wrong but had no idea the gravity of the situation. Taylor's admission that she was facing what she thought was a terminal illness explains so much of her recent behavior, including her willingness to reconnect with Ridge on a deeper level. Taylor explains to Steffy that during her health scare, she was driven by the thought of wanting to make things right, to be with the people she loved before it was too late. This included Ridge, the man she's loved for so long. However, Taylor clarifies that her intentions were not to break up Ridge and Brooke's marriage, but rather to find peace and closure in her own life. The thought of dying made her want to live fully, to tie up loose ends, and to be surrounded by the people who meant the most to her. Steffy, hearing her mother's raw confession, is heartbroken and empathetic. She understands the depth of Taylor's emotions, and she's grateful that her mother's health has improved, but she also feels torn. Steffy has always wanted her parents back together, and now, knowing how close her mother came to losing everything, she's conflicted about whether she should continue to fight for that dream or respect her mother's newfound perspective. Brooke, however, remains skeptical. While Taylor's confession to Steffy is heartfelt, Brooke can't shake the feeling that Taylor's actions were more calculated than she's letting on. Brooke warns Taylor that whether her illness was real or not, she won't allow her to manipulate Ridge emotionally. In Brooke's eyes, Taylor's return to Ridge's life, especially during such a vulnerable time, feels like an underhanded way of reigniting their old flame. Brooke tells Taylor in no uncertain terms that she will not tolerate any interference in her marriage, regardless of the circumstances. She accuses Taylor of using her illness as an excuse to worm her way back into Ridge's heart, and she's determined to protect her relationship at all costs. This confrontation between Brooke and Taylor serves as a powerful reminder of the long-standing tension between them. Their history is riddled with jealousy, competition, and deep emotional scars, mostly centered around Ridge. For years, they've fought over the same man, each claiming to be his true love, and their latest clash is no different. Brooke's fierce defense of her marriage is met with Taylor's more measured response, but the underlying emotions are just as strong. Both women love Ridge in their own way, and neither is willing to back down easily. As Taylor and Brooke's confrontation continues, Steffy finds herself in an impossible position. She wants to support her mother, especially after hearing the devastating news that Taylor thought she was dying, but she also understands that her father's marriage to Brooke is still very much intact. Steffy has long believed that Ridge belongs with Taylor, but she's also come to realize that her mother's happiness doesn't have to depend on Ridge. Steffy is left to process the bombshell her mother dropped and to figure out where she stands in the ongoing battle between Brooke and Taylor. At the heart of this confrontation is Ridge, the man caught between two strong women who have shaped much of his life. Brooke's demands for clarity and Taylor's emotional confession put him in an even more complicated position. While Ridge has always loved both women, the dynamics of his relationships with them have changed over the years. Taylor's revelation about her health scare and her recent behavior has made Ridge question what he really wants. Does he stay with Brooke, the woman he's committed to for so long, or does he revisit the deep bond he's always had with Taylor, especially now that she's faced such a traumatic experience? The confrontation between Brooke, Taylor, and Steffy represents a turning point in their long-standing feud. Brooke's protective instincts, Taylor's vulnerability, and Steffy's loyalty create a complex web of emotions that will have far-reaching consequences for all involved. As the dust settles, it's clear that this isn't just about Ridge anymore. It's about family, love, and the lengths these women will go to protect the people they care about. For Brooke, the fight to keep Ridge is personal, but for Taylor, it's about finding peace in the face of her own mortality. And for Steffy, it's about standing by her mother while navigating the complex emotions that come with seeing her parents' relationship on the line once again. Ultimately, the question remains, can Brooke and Taylor ever truly coexist without destroying each other, or will their rivalry over Ridge continue to define their lives? And as Ridge grapples with the emotional fallout, will he finally make a choice that brings peace to everyone, or will this confrontation only deepen the divide between the two women who love him most?